All right, NFL fans, here are my picks for this week's NFL games. First up, we have Indianapolis at Houston. The Texans are enraged over their loss to the Ravens last week, not so much because they lost, but the way that they were destroyed. Plus, they're at home sweet home, so I'll take Houston. Oakland at the New York Jets. The Jets have won 3 of their last 6. They're ranked first against the run, plus they're at home. Regardless, I'll take Oakland because Gruden will not allow his team to let a game like this that they should win slip through their fingers. Carolina at New Orleans. The Panthers' heavy reliance on McCaffrey coupled with their lack of pass protection have spilled over to their defense. Meanwhile, the Saints' defense is 5th best in all the land, plus they're at home, so I'll take New Orleans. Detroit at Washington. Neither team has a defense to speak of, but at least the Lions have some resemblance of an offense, which is something the Deadskins cannot say. I'll take Detroit. Miami at Cleveland. The Dolphins rank number 4 in offense and number 4 in defense. Check that. They are 4th worst in both categories and 1st worst in turnover ratios. I'll take the Brownies. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Both offenses rank in the top 10. Both defenses rank among the NFL's 10 worst. In addition, they both rank in the bottom 5 in turnover ratios. I'll take the Falcons, but only because they're at home. Seattle at Philadelphia. The Eagles are ordinary in nearly every statistical category, so it should be no surprise that their 5-5 record is also ordinary. The 8-2 Seahawks are 6-1 in their last 7 games and are among the top in all the stat categories. Nothing ordinary about that. I'll take Seattle. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. 5 of the winless Bengals' losses were by 7 or less points, and against some really good teams. Yet that does nothing to ease the humiliation nor the insults. I'll take the Steelers. New York Giants at Chicago. When it rains, it pours, and the Bears have found that out. Their offense is horrible, penalties continue to mount, and now their quarterback can miss the rest of the season. I'll take the G-Men in a close one. Denver at Buffalo. 2 of the Bills' 3 losses were by a combined 9 points. Their defense is ranked 3rd, their rush offense is wearing down opposing defenses, and they're minimizing turnovers. I'll take Buffalo. Jacksonville at Tennessee. The Jaguars have been all in with Leonard Fournette. The problem is he hasn't reached the end zone in 5 straight games, nor has he scored a receiving touchdown since Week 10 of the 2018 season. I'll take the Titans. Dallas at New England. It never fails. Every time the Cowboys look like they're Super Bowl contenders, and when they have the opportunity to actually prove it against the league's stronger teams, they fall flat on their faces. I'll take the Brady Bunch. Green Bay at San Francisco. Half of the Packers' 8 wins were by 7 or less points. In addition, the opportunities their defenses created earlier in the season have taken a nosedive. The Niners just seem to find ways to win close games, including this past week. I'll take San Fran. Baltimore at the LA Rams. The Rams have been plagued with inconsistencies all season long, whereas the Ravens are getting better and more dominating at every facet each week. How in the world do the Rams plan to stop Jackson and company? I don't think they'll be able to. I'll take Baltimore. That's it for this week's games. Good luck to you and your favorite team.
Hi folks, I'm Mike Britt, inviting you to join us at Poe's Pub, located at 2706 East Main Street for Richmond's best burgers and ribs, including the Goose's favorite, the Commonwealth Burger. Check out our weekly events, full menu, and more by visiting our website at poespub.com or call 804-648-2120. That's 648-2120.
Since 1985, Richmond Recycling has been one of Mid-Atlantic's premier recycling centers. One of the reasons for their success is they pay top dollar for your scrap metals, batteries, converters, appliances, and electric motors. Richmond Recycling is doing their part to preserve our resources by their collection services and by bringing public awareness. So, fill up that pickup truck and head on over to Richmond Recycling. They're located at 2500 Decatur Street, just minutes from Interstate 64 and 95. Or you can give them a call at 804-230-9221 or visit their website at richmondrecyclingvirginia.com.
Huddle up, fantasy football fans, for this week's International Fantasy Football League report. Going into Week 12, we find all 6 games having playoff implications. 2 of the 6 playoff seeds have already been filled, with 7 of the league's remaining 10 teams vying for the final 4 spots. Let's take a look. Canada's 11-0 Remus Island holds the number 1 seed throughout the postseason. The only thing they have to compete for is to stay undefeated. China's 8-3 Jamin have locked up their spot as well, and with one more win or a Russian Hackers loss, they can lay claim to the number 2 seed and enjoy a first-round bye in the playoffs. Despite 2 straight losses, the 7-4 Russian Hackers can get their card punched with one more victory, or if the USA's Big Dogs or Mighty Cyclones suffer one more loss. Now things really get congested. Hanging on are the 6-5 Mighty Cyclones, Big Dogs, and UK's Men of Steel. With 2 wins, the Mighty Cyclones are in. They own the head-to-head matchups over the Big Dogs and Men of Steel and can clinch a playoff spot with just one more win, and if the Russian Hackers lose both their remaining games, or if the Big Dogs or Men of Steel lose one more game. The Men of Steel can make the playoffs if they win their last 2 games, plus 2 Russian Hackers losses, and one more loss by the Big Dogs and Mighty Cyclones. The Men of Steel can also get in with just one more victory, but they'll also need the Russian Hackers, Mighty Cyclones, and Big Dogs to lose their final 2 games. The Big Dogs can make the postseason by winning their last 2 games, plus 2 Russian Hacker losses, and 1 loss to the Men of Steel and Mighty Cyclones. They can also get in with one more victory, but they'll need the Russian Hackers, Mighty Cyclones, and the Men of Steel to lose both their final 2 games. 2 key notes: the Big Dogs and Men of Steel will square off in their season finale. Also, between the Big Dogs, Men of Steel, Mighty Cyclones, and Russian Hackers, only 3 of them can get into the postseason because only 3 seeds are available to wildcard teams. And that brings us to our next scenario. In the Fire and Ice division, only 1 game separates 3 teams, namely China's 5-6 Shanghai Wang, the USA's 4-7 Proctors, and Australia's 4-7 Storm Oz. Shanghai Wang lost their earlier head-to-head matchups against the Proctors and Storm Oz, but if they win their last 2 games, they can capture the division crown and sneak right into the playoffs. They can also get in if they win just one more game, plus one more loss by the Proctors or Storm Oz. Storm Oz beat Shanghai Wang and the Proctors and can make the postseason if they win their last 2 games and if Shanghai Wang and the Proctors lose one more. The 3 teams who are out of the playoff picture are the UK's 4-7 Bullbound Mavericks, Mexico's 4-7 Bleeding Blue, and Mexico's 1-10 Lonely Star. The Bullbound Mavericks' 2-year playoff run and the Bleeding Blues' 4 straight postseason appearances are coming to an end. All 3 of these teams can play spoiler in these last 2 weeks, and by doing so can change the entire complexion of the playoff picture. Just a reminder to keep up with the International Fantasy Football League, including rosters and stats, simply go to my profile pages on LinkedIn and Facebook. Type in keywords Brian Slack NFL Media Member. And now, here's a look at this week's International Fantasy Football League games.
Every time you hear this sound, you know EMS and law enforcement are at work saving lives and keeping our community safe. Southern Police Equipment is doing their part by supplying civil and city servants with the latest in protective clothing, footwear, gear, and accessories. For more information, stop on by Southern Police Equipment, located at 7609 Midlothian Turnpike, or give them a call at 1-800-542-5243. You can also order by catalog by logging on to southernpoliceequipment.com.
Hello, my name is Ray. Who's my all-time favorite football team? It's going to be the Green Bay Packers back in the 1960s. When Paul Hornung, Bart Starr, Ray Nitschke, and all those guys were playing, and I still root for the Packers. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? I think I'm going to go with the Patriots. Have a good day.
Hi, I'm Paul, a lifelong Buffalo Bills fan. I was a little worried when we got rid of Tyrod, but I'm liking Josh Allen and waiting for Roberts to run one back for a return touchdown. But hopefully we will win a Super Bowl and make playoffs this year at least.
Hi, my name's James Hemler. I'm a big Steelers fan, Pittsburgh. This season's been kind of up and down. I think Mike Tomlin needs to get the team together. I think we're going to end the season at 7-9. No playoffs this year. Good luck, Steelers.